Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Military Mondays. If you and I don't know each other, I would love to get to know you and have a conversation. I am a retired major in the Air Force, and I now currently help businesses to acquire and retain their customers for life with my husband, and we are the best-selling authors of Life's Real Currency. But every single Monday morning, I try to bring you a veteran or a spouse of a veteran that has a business of their own, because I want to get the word out about veteran-owned businesses. And this morning, I have a repeat offender with Shane Hicks. Shane's been on before, so we're not going to go into all the details. We're going to talk a little bit about his story, which includes his military service, but he is an academy grad. He is a West Point grad. And so I do have to recognize him for that. So thank you for your service, Shane, and welcome to Military Mondays.
Thank you very much.
So if you want to hear more about what Shane did in the service and that type of stuff, go back and watch the replay of Shane's past interview. But this morning, Shane, would you just share a little bit of your story so that we can get the background of why you started the nonprofit that you started? And we'll give that name later. We're going to hide that. Well, it's right on your screen, so I guess we're not going to hide the name.
Yeah, I don't hide it.
It's Reboot VA. So give me a little bit about the story behind it.
Yeah, so Reboot VA assists veterans and their supporting families find employment or start businesses of their own, which is incredibly important, especially in the times that we're in now. The genesis or the idea of this came from my own personal history. So very early in my military career, in hand-to-hand combat training, I sustained a blow to the head that tore both of my retinas, gave me a concussion and traumatic brain injury. 4 surgeries later, I was told I was being separated. Now, let me tell you what that looked like. Me and my unemployed military spouse that had just moved to San Antonio and purchased a $200,000 house, thinking that was going to be our permanent duty station for the next 4 years. Suddenly, I was going to be out on the street, unemployed, and there for a while, we were very, very concerned about whether we were going to be able to put food on the table. It took an attorney, 2 veteran service organizations, and a full year to fight through the system and get retirement instead of separation. And on top of that, I had to determine with my injuries and new symptoms what I was still able to do, what the wife herself was now going to have to step up and do, and how we could put all of that together. And unfortunately, at that time, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to file with the VA. I didn't know what jobs I could get. I didn't even know how to go look for a job because I'd never had to do it. It was a very, very stressful and confusing time. And, you know, as a side note, it's been 21 years since all of that stuff happened. And just a few months ago, I finally got my letter from the VA with my determination after 21 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lengthy process for sure. So
that's the story.
So I know that you have multiple programs and help obviously with finding or starting a business, finding a job or starting a business, but I know you have 4 different programs that you offer. So let's talk about those 4 different programs and how each one helps a different sector of people.
Absolutely. So our first program is called Boots to Bites. And that's basically our onboarding system where I meet with a veteran and we have, it's like a coffee meeting, right? Boots to Bites, right? And that's where we do onboarding. And I talk to them about where they've been, what they've gone through, and then basically what they want to do moving forward. And then we start developing a program specifically for them that helps them. Now, we're moving very, very rapidly into this program. We had a meeting with the Transition Center at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio this past week, and they told us that they can help us serve no less than 4 veterans per month that fit into our program. And we have a vision of having alliances nationwide. We're not going to be just local Texas. We're going to be able to support nationwide, but that's the kind of thing that we're doing. We're making those partnerships. So that's what Boots to Bytes does. The second program is actually called Boots to Bitcoins. So I have an information technology background. I've set up a modest cryptocurrency mining farm, and we've had donations of gaming laptops for about $2,200. We take those laptops, we set them up into full-time crypto mining, and all of the Bitcoin goes to a debit card that goes to support our programs. So a one-time donation actually feeds the veterans programs indefinitely for as long as those laptops can be in service and generating money. So I think that's kind of a revolutionary way of funding the programs, is a one-time donation can go on forever. Then our third program is called Boots to Builders. So I've been helping businesses for a very, very long time, going on 10 years, make business relationships with each other. So I have strong connections, again, nationwide with construction, general contractors, remodelers, and every trade that you can imagine. Electricians, plumbers, flooring, you name it, we've got those people. And I've gone to each and every one of them and said, this is what I'm going to do. Would you like to participate? And every single one has said, Shane, we will take any veteran you have. We will train them. We'll make sure they know what they're doing, and we will employ them. Or I've got some that are getting a little long in the tooth, right? And they are looking to retire themselves. They have offered to mentor my guys or my girls into starting their own trades businesses and leaving a legacy. And I just think that is amazing. And then our final program is called Boots to Business, where we do the exact same thing, but we're doing it for people that want to be in like financial services or want to be in insurance, or let's say they're disabled to the point where they need to work from home. I have availability for things like that. Or we even help, this was actually very recently, we helped the spouse of a disabled veteran get a work from home opportunity because she has to be his stay-at-home caregiver at the same time. Well, let me just give you a testimonial or an example on that. So veteran spouse came to me, and this was about a month ago. They've been married 28 years. He's a Vietnam era vet. They have 10 children.
Wow.
He worked in construction. He recently shot himself through the leg with a nail gun. He went to the VA for treatment. They discovered 2 blood diseases, Hep C from mass inoculations in Vietnam, and a new blood disease from this nail. Okay, so while he was being rated for the Vietnam Hep C, his doctor left the VA and they lost his paperwork. It's frozen, nothing happening. The new blood disease now has him laid up at home. He can't do anything anymore. Now, the spouse lost her job during COVID. So now they're paying all of their bills based upon Social Security and on his VA disability. Okay, 2 things happened then. Number 1, he decided that he was going to sell all of the tools of his trade. because he was never going to be able to go back. He sold them to one of the general contractors that he had done work with in the past. The general contractor generated a 1099 for pay and submitted it. So that flagged the IRS, that flagged the VA. The VA sent him a collection letter for $28,000 accusing him of fraudulent disability. Now that it's flagged Social Security, the wife went to fight for the Social Security and went to get all of her kids added to the Social Security benefits. Well, 3 of the 10 have aged out or are on someone else's benefits. So that left 7. Only 5 of the 7 were coming up in the system. She took her paperwork where she had filed for her 2 youngest Social Security, had their Social Security cards, and was told that those were the finest forged documents they had ever seen. So now she's got to fight with Social Security. Yeah. Then in the meantime, there are some personal family issues going on where some custody issues have come up. So she's got all of this stuff going on. Here's what we did. Number 1, I referred the family to a veteran service organization that we are closely aligned with in our businesses. So they are helping them fight the VA, put the right paperwork in, make the right explanations, and get that fixed. The second thing I did was I connected them with a family attorney that specializes in custody. And they have already met and are meeting and are getting that portion taken care of. Then the spouse wanted to start an insurance business. And we personally funded, that's what our funds do, we funded a membership that she needed to be able to get her business off the ground. That's what Boots to Business does.
Awesome. You know, Shane, it never ceases to amaze me what you do and how you support the community, especially the veteran community. And I just want to say thank you. So obviously it takes money to run a nonprofit. A nonprofit means you're not taking profits off of it per se, but it still takes funds to run it. So how can people help you? And I know you do things very differently than most nonprofits. So let's talk a little bit about how you do fundraising and how people can help you.
Absolutely. And that's a little bit of story time too, which is I was asked recently when I was talking to someone about this, they said, we would love to support you, but we want to support something that's sustainable. So we want to see where most profits fail is they come in hard and fast, but they run out of money and they go down quickly. And I said, right, well, I have had a vision for what I want to do from the beginning, and it's all from personal experience, okay? So every nonprofit that I've worked with in the past, especially because of things that I've done in the past and the people that I'm associated with, right? I am constantly approached by all my friends to support their charities, but they're always asking me for huge, well, I mean, it depends upon what you think is huge, but they're asking me for $1,000 a pop, multiple times a year. And even when I give, I feel like right after I give, the next opportunity to give comes up. And if I supported every single program, right, that would be astronomical, right? I even, like one of my buddies came up and I said, brother, I just wrote you a check, right? Like, seriously. And he goes, no, Shane, that was last year's fundraiser. Now we've got to do it again. And I'm like, okay, right? So you have that constant feeling like you're always being hit up. You're always being hit up. Then the second thing that I've always had trouble with is the organizations, and these are fine efforts, but they put on constant galas where it's black tie. Everybody's in, dress blues or tuxedos or gowns, and the meals are $100, $250 a plate. And they give out awards and things like that, right? But if you understand the logistics of that, how much money and preparation it takes to put on those events. Again, I called out one of my brothers very recently and I said, even though we've graduated and it's been 25, 30 years, you're still under the Cadet Honor Code. You cannot lie to me. So tell me, this gala that you just put on, how much did you spend And once you paid all your bills, how much actually went to the charity? They spent thousands on the event, and just over $1,000 at the end went to the charity. And even when you do that, not 100% of what goes into the charity goes to the actual people that you're trying to benefit. So I don't like those things. My vision from the very beginning has been no galas, no events, no raffles, no fun runs, but that's more because I don't like to run. But nothing like that. What I want is grassroots, right? I call it the cup of coffee campaign. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's anyone that wants to donate substantially, I will welcome that, right? But what we're really looking for is $10 a month, provide a cup of coffee to my veterans in their onboarding process. And think about this, okay? Over the past 10 years, I've made over 3,000 business connections. Could you imagine the power if each of those business connections offered $10 a month and then went to 3 of their best friends and simply said, this is a charity I'm supporting for $10 a month. Would you do the same thing? That's over 100,000 a month for the program. And we never have a gala. We never have an event. And who's going to miss $10 off their credit card once a month? Nobody. That is how we can be sustainable. And that is how we can, I get chills when I think, what kind of impact can we make for such little true effort on our part, but it can make such a huge, huge difference.
I love it. Thank you so much for what you do for the veteran community. If you're watching this and you feel led, how do people reach out and donate that $10? Shane, is there a website or how do they
Yes.
get in touch with you?
We have made it incredibly easy. Our website is rebootva.com. And it's got my story on there. It outlines our programs. It's got a donate now button. And on the page, it has tiers of what you can donate. You can do one time, you can do monthly, and it's literally 2 clicks. Click it, enter your information, and you're good to go. Now, I've got a kind of a funny story there, because I get people saying, well, wait, you're a nonprofit. Shouldn't you be .org and not .com? Well, yes, we actually are both, okay? We've purchased both domains. However, my web guy, in programming our security certificate, right, which you need to have when you're taking transactions, he programmed it as .com. So even though rebootva.org and .com take you to the exact same website, .com is the one that comes up secure. They're both secure. It's just our web guy programmed our certificate for the .com. So you're safe no matter how you get there.
Awesome. Well, if you feel led, if you're one of those people who loves to help veterans, whether you're a veteran yourself or you're just a civilian that loves to support the veteran community, please reach out and go to rebootva.com and show your love for the organization and for Shane and for veterans that are in desperate need of help, because transitioning out of the service, I've said this many times on my morning calls, is there are lots of people sort of like Shane who out of the blue, they get hurt in the line of duty and now they got to figure it out. They got to do something else. They've got to have a job on the side or work from home. And that's what Shane is doing, is helping to connect them with the right people and find the right job, whether it be from home or a new trade or something, a skill that they can take and support their families. So again, go to rebootva.com. Go back and watch a past episode of Shane and learn more about Shane. You can do that through Military Mondays with an S.info. So Military Mondays with an S.info. And you can see past episodes there. You can also find them on YouTube if you search Michael and Brenda Sanchez. But if you are a veteran yourself and you have a business, I would love to connect with you, or even a spouse. I would love to connect with you and maybe feature you on a future Military Mondays. And again, you can go to that exact same website, militarymondays.info. Put your information in there and say you'd like to be on a show, you'd like to be pre-interviewed and see if you're a good fit, and I would love to reach out to you. So with that, thank you everybody for joining in. If you're watching this and you know of a veteran, or maybe you just want to push this out so we can get the word out, I'd love for you to like and share this Facebook live with all of your audience, with your Facebook friends, so that we can get the word out, because somebody needs to hear about the program that Shane offers. So with that, have an amazing week, everyone, and I will see you next Monday on Military Mondays. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.